morning, everyone. Today we're just going to start off with this Motivation Monday, get things moving. Hopefully it's a great start to the week. Just kind of a quick little quote here from Zig. Goals are dreams. We convert to plans and take action to fulfill. So happy Motivation Monday. Let's make this week a good one. I don't know about you guys, but I know up here in Oregon, where I'm located, our weather has taken a change towards autumn and fall. So we definitely been having some cooler weather and some rain this actual last week, which we've really needed. We were having some pretty massive fires around our area. So fortunately, our weather has taken kind of a change for the positive for some of the different things that we had going on. Hopefully things are kind of calming down with our weather, around the nation. So for those of you who are new here, it's a common layout. We do a brief review of, things of the tip of the week, AHCP sales trends, sales leaders, and then sales techniques and tips. I'm Tammy Stencil. I work with Dan. He is currently traveling to another site location, so just kind of stepping in to help him cover this week. So tip of the week last week, Dan had given you guys the information about the National General products with the NatGen short-term effective 1/1/18 and later. You can offer 4 linked short-term medical plans together, and that'll be starting October 1st. The other thing is just kind of a reminder of the Medicare trainings that are upcoming just to get ready for AEP. We do have a Humana training this afternoon. If you're interested, please feel free to go check out the AHCP sales website on the calendar, and you can click on the information there if you haven't received notification yet. So this is a reminder for this tip of the week. Let's face it, getting certified is something that most agents dread more than a trip to the dentist. So many brokers were caught unaware last year that they needed to get recertified for both AEP and OEP if you're looking at selling for both. There is the AHIP and FFM certifications that need to be completed. FFM certifications, registration for this upcoming year for 2018. You can get started on those. Otherwise, if you want to sell for AEP, then make sure that you get your AHIP completed. If you plan on selling Medicare supplements, make sure that you get your fraud, waste, and abuse completed. So to just kind of look at the AHCP sales trends for this last week, there was a very slight decrease in short-term medical. The top sales were the National General NHIC as well as Golden Rule, and then a slight decrease in the fixed benefit. That was NHIC with the most sales, the National General fixed benefit with the most sales, VBA General Agent Center almost equal with the sales. We are kind of covering some of the trends with the sales with Medicare, being that we're coming up on that AEP season. Medicare, there was an increase in the Medicare Advantage sales, which means that there must be people out there qualifying for that special enrollment. There were no changes in the Medicare prescriptions. It was very equivalent from the week before to this last week, but with prescriptions, it was Humana and Aetna for the prescription sales. With the Medicare Advantage, it was mainly United Healthcare. And then there was an increase in the Medicare supplement sales, and with that was United Healthcare as well as Mutual of Omaha. Looking over the supplements for decrease in accident sales, but the top seller there was Golden Rule. There was a slight increase in critical illness. This last week's top sales were with Colorado Bankers Life Critical Illness. And then there's a slight decrease in dental, but the top sales there was the National General NHIC PPO plans. Love giving out kudos and shout outs to our sales agents out there, just continuing on with their sales, making sure that they are staying steady and strong. Of course, Miss Santa Maria is the first with the NHIC limited benefit National General's products. The second came in was Jacob Gordon with the National General NHIC limited benefits, and then Andy Orlikoff with the National General limited benefits as well. So congratulations, guys, on your limited benefit sales. Definitely great job. Keep those sales nice and steady and strong. So given those sales shout outs with these short-term medical plans, we have William Kelly, and that was primarily with Golden Rule short-term medical. Wendy Larson with the National General NHIC short-term medical. And then, of course, Miss Catiana Santamaria with the National General short-term medical. So fantastic. Great job, guys. Keep it up. You guys have definitely been rocking your sales this summer. All right. Want to definitely jump into the sales techniques and reducing wasted time. To be successful during this feeding frenzy, preparation is definitely key. It's not too soon to start preparing for AAP or OAP so that you can capitalize on the opportunity when it arrives. Brokers who delay may find their options limited or possibly locked out altogether. Today, we're going to cover some ideas to reducing your time you waste. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Do you know what you need to get done by tomorrow, by the end of this week, or by the end of this month? Most people have never really had a goal or target. That's why most of them go through life without passion and motivation. Successful people always have a clear indication of the outcome that they want. That is why they are able to move forward towards the future they deserve. Today, we'll cover a few steps to create more time, and we all know how valuable time is. So some of the best sales agents don't necessarily get better leads, but have better customers because they spend their time wisely. So why? Why do we want to definitely, think about increasing our time and, focus better? Well, best salespeople don't get those better leads, as I said. They spend more time with those customers. It helps with their sales, increasing those sales. They're working smarter, not harder. They're creating successful growth habits. And it totally gives you, the agent, a lot more control in your career. Some benchmarks for ideas of managing where your time should be spent. Definitely, go through and schedule everything. You can't carry all the information in your head when you're occupied, and should be touching on all the different things. Certain things can easily be forgotten. So to handle how you really want to spend your time, document it, write it down, schedule it. Be organized. Can definitely save tons of time. You don't have to be the most ultra organized person in the world, but there's definitely some systems out there to help you, and a lot of systems aren't necessarily complicated. So plan your work. Think ahead before you leave the office. What do you need to focus on the next day? Make a list. Keep track of what you need to do and what you have done to help clear your mind of the tasks at hand. Instead of sitting down to work on a project and thinking, I'm going to be here until this is done, try thinking, I'm going to work on this for the next 3 hours. The time constraint will push you to focus and be more efficient, even if you end up having to go back and add a little bit more later. A simple online countdown timer. Key in the amount of time that you want to track. Example, the 15 minutes or a half hour, or allotting yourself that 3 hours to work on that project. It's going to count down in the background, and when the time is up, the timer will beep or flash, and it's a great way to be able to be aware of the time that you're spending. Some tasks and products will be more difficult to complete and can take additional time, but recognizing this and allowing yourself to be organized accordingly, tackle the most important things, clear those out on a daily basis, allow yourself some time to focus on larger projects. This will allow you from getting overwhelmed when those deadlines approach. And definitely don't forget to leave some buffer time in there. Don't pack everything so closely together. Leave 5-10 minutes buffer time in between each task. It's going to help you wrap up the previous task and start on the next one. When we rush from task to task, it's difficult to appreciate what we are doing to stay focused and motivated. So allowing yourself some time between the tasks can be a breath of fresh air for our brains, or taking a break or a short walk or meditate to perform, some other mind clearing tasks. Since you can't do everything, learn to prioritize and let go of the rest. And keeping, realistic time goals. Don't count the time till it's gone. It definitely can build up some health pressures there. First, consider what you need to achieve and then commit to it. Get smart. Do specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals that motivate you, and write them down to make them feel tangible. Then plan the steps you must take to realize your goal, and cross off each as you walk through them. Be clear what you need to do to finish the task by 10 a.m. or Y task by 3 p.m. or Z task by 5:30 p.m. It's prevalent you can work from dragging on and eating into time reserved for other activities and adding additional stress. Don't count the time till it's gone. When you target to be on time, you'll either be on time or late. Most of the times you're going to be late. So however, if you get to your target early, you must be likely on time, or you most likely be on time. So for myself, I like to make sure that I'm always 15 minutes early somewhere to help reduce my stress. That way I know that if anything should happen to pop up, I definitely have enough time to get to the place that I need to get, or if there's a slight detour in traffic or something, it gives me that allotted time. And then just setting a reminder in your Outlook calendar or your phone calendar or in your CRM. Most digital calendars like Google or even Outlook, you can add alarm reminders. So definitely making sure that you have that allotted extra time can help you out tremendously. And organize your time. The money hours. Organize your days around the money hours. The hours are when you can and should be talking with prospects and customers. Handle non-revenue generating activities before or after the money hours. And prospecting hours. Dedicate a certain percentage of money hours to prospect to increase the probability of reaching prospects. Vary the time of day you prospect. Schedule it, do it, and love it. And then follow up. Queue up and standardize most frequently used follow-up pieces for each product production and distribution of documents. Follow up immediately. Don't set those aside. And then your professional development. This comes into maybe learning product knowledge or going through and doing trainings. Schedule those non-money hours for sales development or improving, product knowledge. Understand the value of your time. And stick to one task at a time. Have a clear focus. Focus on one thing and one thing at a time. Scheduling helps us with creating routines and staying focused and not getting distracted. Do not try to multitask. You're stealing your time. Multitasking is a myth. Studies have clearly shown that people cannot actually do two things at once. They will really quickly switch from one task to another. And that switching duties focus and slows people down because their brains have to adjust to each task. Time spent browsing Twitter or gaming or watching TV, movies can be the biggest drains on productivity. I suggest becoming more aware of how much time you spend on those activities. Simply by noticing how much they're sucking up your time, you'll begin to do less of them. What takes your time away? Facebook or Twitter or email checking. Stop checking them so often. One thing you can do is make it hard to check them. Remove them from your browser, quick links, bookmarks, and stuff that is easy to access. Replace your browser bookmarks with more important work-related sites. While you'll still check Facebook or Twitter, no doubt you'll find it lowers your frequency of checking them. You have to be more disciplined. And focus 100% of your efforts on what you're doing. Are you multitasking so much that you're not getting anything done? If so, focus on just one key task at a time. Close off all applications you aren't using. Close off the tabs in the browsers that may be taking away your attention. Focus solely on what you're doing. You'll be more efficient that way. Don't take on more than you can handle. For the distractions that come in when you're doing other things, give them a firm no or defer to it at a later period. Some of the common time wasters that we have in our lives is definitely, not enough time scheduled for necessary top priority tasks. Interruptions, drop-in visitors, distractions, cell phone calls, from family or friends while we're at our, works area. Doing it yourself involving too many other details and routine tasks. So if there's somebody who can assist you that you can tap into for some resource, definitely see if you can get some assistance with it. Stop trying to take on so much on your own if you have somebody that you can definitely check in with. And then there's always a crisis, firefighting. It never fails. One of our clients will have something pop up where we just have to get to it right then and there. We have to drop everything, or maybe we have a family member that's in crisis. These are things that definitely can take us away from our tasks of being able to complete our job. And then just having lack of objectives, deadlines, or priorities, not having those categorized. We definitely need to make sure that we're prioritizing everything that we do. Lots of paperwork, reports, reading materials. Sometimes you're spending too much time on maybe that website reading an article instead of getting back to, actually going through and following up with your clients. Leaving tasks partly done, jumping from task to task. That's that, where we try and say that we're multitasking. Really, it's not multitasking. It's jumping from task to task. It can make it so we're not actually completing the job at hand. Procrastinating. I know there are times where I definitely procrastinate myself, and then all of a sudden I feel the pressure building up and I feel like I'm stressed and I've ran out of time, and that definitely is not good either. So stop procrastinating, stop daydreaming, being indecisive. Definitely get somebody who can help you out with making a decision if you need to make a decision. And lack of self-discipline. Like I said, if you schedule everything out on what you plan to do, your money hours, it's going to help you with your discipline. Socializing, idle conversation. A little chit chat next to the water cooler is fine, but when it's continuous throughout the day and it's creating that interruption, throughout your work day, then definitely you want to try and cut some of it out. And failure to do top priority tasks first. We want to make sure that we're taking care of either the most important tasks or, the reverse of this, things that you don't want to do, things that you're going to procrastinate at. Make sure that you either are taking care of those top priority ones or taking care of the ones that you're going to procrastinate. And then constantly switching priorities. Make sure that you have a clear, defined, line of your goals for the day, what you have to complete. What are your top priorities? So doing your least, favorite thing first, like I said, things that you're going to procrastinate at. I know that's what I try and do, honestly, with my day is I try and jump in first of things that I just don't want to get done, but I really just need to get it done and get it over with. So naturally humans, get through the first thing, the quickest. So for me, I try and do my least favorite thing first if I don't have a higher priority, to get it done. Prioritize between the important and unimportant tasks, definitely. Our least favorite part of being in sales is performing non-revenue generating activities such as handling customer issues or processing sales paperwork. Scheduling a specific time each day to handle those issues is going to help save you time and relieve some stress. And handling time, consumes issues that pop up during the day. It's not always optimal. So if a customer needs your help with a complicated request, don't drop what you're doing to just address it. We all need to take great care of our customers. However, wasting too much time and energy trying to switch back and forth from task to task will leave you drained. So scheduling 1 hour per day, say from 4 to 5 p.m. to handle issues that accumulate throughout the day can help your work schedule. Whether it's turning in sales paperwork or responding to in-depth customer concerns, simply wait until that hour, to process everything. That way you're able to truly stay focused on your cold calling or running appointments with no opportunities for distraction. This will leave time for you to do the things that you like. Setting realistic time goals, be clear that you need to finish X task by 10 a.m. or Y task by 3 p.m. or that, task by 5:30. To prevent your work from dragging on and eating into your time reserved for other activities and adding that additional stress. So, definitely make sure that you're setting realistic, times for your things that you need to get completed. When you target to be on time, you'll either be on time or late, as I said. So, a good reminder, always set those calendar reminders or phone reminders to help you out. And streamline repeatable tasks. You may be spending as much as 80% of your time on simply repeating tasks that pull you away from focusing on your time and high growth tasks that will pull your business forward. Streamlining is great. Don't reinvent the wheel for the same task that you'll do multiple times. Have a cold call script. Keep it short and sweet. Keeps you from fumbling and stammering your words. Consistency is good. It flows smoother once you get the comfort level down of what you plan to say. Oh, hi, Bob. This is Tammy. Tammy with Health Solutions Agency. I'm trying to follow up on the request that you put in. My number is 503-459-0457. Again, my name is Tammy. We work with all the major carriers in Oregon. Give me a call back at 503-459-0457. Pretty smooth and easy. Just going through, making sure you have that quick little script in front of you. So that way, if anything does pop up, any distraction or whatnot, you have it right in front of you to stay on task. And keeping up with, some custom signatures on your emails. Have a template created. Set it up if you're communicating the same thing out to many people. Add your signature, hyperlink to your agency website. If you don't have one, there's Facebook pages, LinkedIn profiles that customer can follow up and click on. When it comes to figuring out what the essentials for template to work, the first thing that comes to mind is testing. Go through and test different options and ideas that you might have. See how many read responses you might get with an email if it has a really quick, catchy tagline in the subject line. And then definitely, good record keeping. It's definitely to help you utilize your time as well as your customers. So if you can go ahead and, have a great CRM that will allow you to go through, pull up that customer's name, schedule that. I know Agent Cubed is phenomenal for all those sorts of things. Definitely that's going to help you in that regard as well. There's CRMs out there that you can create some email templates in as well. So definitely check in to see what sort of technology might help. Using technology can definitely help you, reduce your time wasted on non-income producing tasks. So get used to using that calendar reminder, those digital timers, the reminders on your phone. You can also try downloading Google Sheets to prepare your to-do list. It has pretty much the same function as an Excel, and you'll also be able to download Google Sheets to your PC or your iPad or your Apple Mac or smartphone. It allows you to access your list on the go. So you should try color coding your tasks to help you see the completed overview at a glance. Prioritize color coding. I know for myself, if it's something that's really a hot item that needs to have major attention called to it, I mark everything highlighted with a red. If it's more of a reporting type thing, then I highlight it with orange. That way, visually, I automatically can see the colors. It helps me know exactly what I'm looking for, and it definitely lets me know what needs to have more attention called to it. We get so caught up in business that we forget to enjoy what we're doing. So even when we focus on working smarter, we're still too often too focused on getting things done. So keeping your programs organized, bookmark your most frequently used sites that you use on your favorite bar, search engine programs, whether it be Google or Firefox or Internet Explorer. And have a tracking system in place so you can easily gather your client's account data and recommend which product would be best, cross-sold based on their current policy. Being able to immediately access that profile, see what their currently, policy is instead of trying to fumble through everything. And then keep a running spreadsheet if you need with all your favorite sites and links and passwords. Goodness knows we all have multiple passwords that we have to try and remember, and of course they all require different information to create them. You know, one of the biggest things with talking with agents is they don't remember their agent portal logins, and you know, obviously we're not able to help because we don't have that information, and then the agent has to turn around, go to the carrier, sit on hold, finally get through to the broker service help and get some assistance with being able to log into the website. So, you know, that was a lot of time wasted. So definitely try and keep somewhere in a journal or a running spreadsheet all of those different links to the websites and the passwords that you'll need, and maybe your username. Someplace keep it close, keep it locked up, so that way it's not just accessible to everyone, but definitely it helps you tremendously from having to waste all that time. You know, kind of another opportunity is we want to cover a few things about preparing for that, you know, busy time with a few strategies. One of the big things for us is that we know we're going to be very busy starting in a couple weeks for Medicare sales and a couple months starting for AAP or for OAP. So we need to focus on maximizing our time. One of the big things is, as an agent, is spend your time on tracking customers and their policies. If you're organized, you'll have more balance in your life. You want to be able to maximize that time spent in sales and process, but increase the time spent on important things like family. I want to dive into accurate record keeping. Keeping a running spreadsheet is one way that I've seen agents if they don't want to use a CRM. In the calls to agency service, you know, they start coming in heavy at the beginning of the year when commissions start rolling in, you know, for those major medical policies as well as Medicare policies. Our agency service team, you know, take numerous calls from agents inquiring about possible discrepancies on their commission statements from the carriers. In order for the agency service team to be able to reach out to the carrier and investigate on your behalf, the carrier requires several details about the customer on the policy, and they won't waste their time investigating if they don't have it. So we found a lot of agents just don't keep that information collected on their clients and find themselves very frustrated and, you know, in a frustrated state and possibly a loss of money, unfortunately, because they don't have that collected information. Carriers require the client's first name, last name, date of birth, social security number, the application or policy number. You know, if you don't have all that information for your client, definitely makes it much harder for the agency service team to be able to reach out on your behalf and do that for you. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of time and effort wasted on your behalf, you know, going through and contacting the carrier, contacting agency services and trying to figure out what happened and why there's a discrepancy. Also, because a lot of the, you know, all the different carriers and many products that agents do work with now, all those websites and back office sites, you know, have those passwords. Definitely keep track on them on a different separate spreadsheet. Definitely write down your writing number and your MPN, have all that accessible, you know, if you're going to be reaching out to agency services as well to help with any resolving on that. You know, for your lead and client information, I always recommend to choose an organizational system like an online CRM. But if for whatever reason you don't want to use a CRM, definitely please make sure that you do have a collected area that you can keep all that information together with the client's name, date of birth, social security number, and, you know, their access, maybe their policy number, you know, something that you can do some tracking on. You know, just to kind of cover, Agent Cubed is huge for, you know, for our company. It's something that we definitely recommend out to agents because it's so easy to use. It's a smart CRM. You can go through, you can do all of your record keeping to help maximize your time, and it definitely can be accurate record keeping. You should have a, you know, record keeping book. Some agents keep that running Excel sheet, but, you know, having that CRM for us, as I said, Agent Cubed is huge. It has Quote It built in for you to be able to quote and compare carriers side by side that you're appointed with without having to open multiple tabs and bouncing back and forth. And it just goes directly from your client's profile that you've created into the quote. Agent Cubed is great CRM that allows the client management, taking notes, quoting tools, calendar, appointment setting. It's easy, you know, to cross-sell or upsell, and you're able to quote multiple plans side by side with on and off exchange, ancillary and supplements, as well as Medicare carriers in there as well. And, you know, definitely overall, we get so caught up in business that we forget to enjoy what we're doing. When we focus on working smarter, we still often are focused on getting, you know, many other things done. So this should never be the point. Always ask yourself, what can I do to spend more time enjoying what I'm doing? The goal should be arranging your commitments in a way that you're happy living out the details of your daily life, even when you're working. This may sound like a pipe dream, but it's most possibly, you know, possible, you know, way of being able to have your happier life, living out, you know, those absolute goals and desires that you want to do. Embrace your passion. Enjoyment should be part of your goal. Work can be play as well. All of this is possible, but you must use time management techniques and help organize your personal and business activities. You know, different opportunities that you have to spend more time with your family, taking that special vacation, maybe spending some extra time picking up a new hobby, or just some time to relax and kick back. So if you have any questions for Motivation Monday, or if you have any feedback, you guys want us to cover something specific, a carrier, a product, a plan, please feel free, reach out to us, let us know, you know, reach out to training@ahcpsales.com. If there's any questions, you know, definitely feel free to ask them in the chat or send an email to that training@ahcpsales.com. It all goes to that training box and it's checked every day. So if you have any questions, I guarantee, you know, there's probably 15 others out there that do as well. And to wrap up today, you know, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. A quick little, you know, motivation is people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So definitely keep yourself motivated and keep those sales going strong.